How to win at anything. First, we gotta identify what does winning look like to us. So many people be like, oh, I want to win at life. And honestly, we could talk about any area in life, but the biggest thing is that we need to identify what winning looks like and pretty much just not compare that to anyone else. I know that a lot of the times you want to compare yourself to other people's goals, you want to compare yourself to other people's wins, but we got to remember that when it comes to winning in our own life, we have to do it for ourselves. We always got to do it for ourselves. We got to do it for our future person and just basically proving ourselves, right? A lot of the times it feels good to show that off. I totally get that. And I feel like there are some parts in life where there's room for flexing. You know what I'm saying? There's room for flexing. But at the end of the day, right, we want to win for ourselves. And so first off, we got to identify what does winning look like to us? What do those goals look like? What areas in life do we want to win at? And then once we're able to identify what it is that we want to win at, and you guys are not going to want to hear this part, but we have to seek failure. I don't know what it is, but it is a universal law that in order to become successful, in order to achieve at something, you have to fail. Like, you guys have probably heard this from so many entrepreneurs in the past, so many successful people, but if everyone is telling you the same piece of advice, just fucking take it, bro. Just take it. In order to become successful, you have to fail at something. And there's a good way to go about this. And so what we want to do is we want to seek failure. Right? We want to seek out for failure. And now when I say seek failure, I'm not saying we want to purposely fail at something, but we kind of want to just do like a mental shift in our head to where failure is always going to be an opportunity for growth and success. It's like when you go to the gym. Motherfucker, you're not going to go to the gym and not feel a pump or some type of burn and think you're growing muscle, right? If I go to the gym and I start working out, if I'm not feeling it, I'm not doing enough, right? If I'm not making my muscles fail, that muscle is not gonna grow. And then also when I talk about the mental shifting in your head, it can also be like the Thomas Edison story, right? Where if you're not American or if you don't know much about Thomas Edison, basically this motherfucker invented a light bulb and he tried like over 1,000 times, right, to get it right. But throughout those 1,000 times, every single time he did it and he failed, he then was like, now I know 999 ways to not do it. And so another story that I want to bring up that kind of ties back to how we can implement, I guess, like seeking failure in our everyday life is that my friend has a bakery business. She has a bakery business and she's trying to get her name out there. She made business cards and wants to just pass it around to people and stuff, right? She's already been getting rejected, and she's been feeling like super bad about it, right? But I told her, hey, if you can get 50 rejections on your business idea or your business just in general, I will give you $100 straight up. I will give you $100 if you can get 50 rejections. And we made a deal. We made a bet. We're like, all right, let's do that, right? And so what happened was that she was looking to fail, not looking to fail, but her perspective just shifted on where failing wasn't just failing, right? Every single time she failed, she got closer to another goal, which was $100. And so you probably might be thinking, okay, but like, motherfucker, no one's paying me $100 to fail. But that's where the twist kind of comes in, where every single time you fail on something, that is always an opportunity to improve one more bit, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just such a cliche thing you've probably heard your whole life, and so many motherfuckers probably already clicked off the video, and those are the motherfuckers that are gonna keep failing and not win at anything. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones who are gonna keep complaining and not win at life. But, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, you literally have to just mentally shift your perspective on what it's like to fail. And so you're probably thinking, so how do I know when to quit, right? Because I know I heard this one time where it's like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And so the thing is, it's not about quitting, right? This whole thing is not about quitting. It's not knowing when to stop. This whole thing is about improving every single time you fail. Every single time you go to the gym and your muscles fail, and then you give them time to like relax and grow, you're thinking, okay, what's the next workout that I can do that will get them even more of a pump? How much more weight can I add to it? You know what I'm saying? Every single time I drop a video and it doesn't get the views I want, ooh, how can I tell my story a little bit different? What thumbnail design can I use? It's about finding one thing to improve on every single time and just keep doing it until you have absolutely nothing you can improve on, right? Until you have absolutely nothing you can improve on, don't stop. It's not about quitting. It's about just improving every single time. That's why I say failure isn't just failure itself, right? Failure is an opportunity for improvement every single time. It's literally just about making that mental shift in your head, right? Just like the story of my friend now having a purpose to fail because she's still gonna get something out of it. You are still gonna get something out of failing because you're finding out different ways to go about the certain goal. And so this is just a concept I talk about in my course. Link is in the description. Basically just how to have work ethic and productivity as a lazy person, as I once used to be. But let's move on. And then the next step I want to give you guys is, if you want to win at anything in life, make goals and things so small it's almost stupid why you wouldn't accomplish it. Because a lot of the times we're programmed to want everything right now. We're programmed to want the biggest things, to accomplish everything right now in this moment. And so when we don't get it, it's super demotivating, it's counterproductive, and you don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? But the biggest thing I would say is you got to start rewiring your brain to accept the littlest of things, right? The littlest of accomplishments, take those. Those are wins, right? Every single thing in your life is a win. The fact that you woke up and brushed your teeth, that's a win. You could have just walked away with stank ass breath. You know what I'm saying? The fact that your car turned on this morning and you're able to go to work, that's a win. Most people don't even have a car, or they have a janky car that don't turn on. Every single thing in life is a win. And the purpose behind this is you're just rewiring your brain. You're rewiring your brain to accept the littlest of things, the littlest of dopamine pushes, right? Because if you can accept the littlest of things, that's gonna keep you going. That's gonna keep you going every single day, bit by bit, until you get to the bigger goal overall, right? It's a long-term journey. And so accepting the littlest of things. And in terms of our goals, when I say we want to make goals so small it's almost stupid why we wouldn't accomplish it, I'm talking about things like making our bed. Right? Before, I used to think that making our bed was the dumbest thing ever. I'm like, why would I, like, what purpose do I have to make my bed in the morning, right? Like, I'm just gonna get up and get to work. Making your bed is about basically just sticking to a goal that's so small, it's like, why wouldn't you just do it, right? Accepting that win, because after you do your bed, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I actually did something today that helped myself. Accepting the littlest of goals, the littlest of things, and taking those as wins, because it's those things that are going to then start rewiring your brain, so then you can actually stay motivated and accept those little dopamine rushes, those little dopamine bites every single time until you get to your bigger goal at the end. I go over this concept and a lot more in the course that I've made. Link is in the description. Basically how to be a productive person if you're super lazy. I once used to be a lazy person, but once I realized what it was that actually got me over my rut and started being more productive in my day-to-day life, I transformed within a few months. And so link is in the description if you're interested. RNH Hunnid, stay Hunnid with yourself.